welcome to the Rose Garden. Yes, we're back here after a night of Thanksgiving enjoyment, and the Blazers are hoping to add another one in the victory column with the Golden State Warriors in town. And good evening. I'm Eddie Doucette along with the snapper Steve Jones. I know you had a good Thanksgiving Day, Snaps. You look terrific as usual. And the Blazers coming in after a nice road trip. They're 1-1. They could have easily been 2-0. And what a difference it makes when they get the big guy involved with the offense early.
Well, there's no question. The strength of the team is in the front line, and one of the best places to start is Sabonis. He didn't get that many opportunities against the Warriors last time out, but you see what he can do when he gets a chance to score the ball, as he did against the San Antonio Spurs. The hope is that they will start him early, and he will finish just as strong. Big numbers in short minutes, Eddie.
He has really done a nice job. And J.R. Ryder is showing that he's blending very nicely with his team in a role other than just scoring.
You know, J.R. Ryder is beginning to get a feel for what's needed for him. In Minnesota, they look to him to score the ball a lot. He's had big assist nights. He's also beginning to shoot the ball a lot better from the perimeter. Tonight, he'll need all of his game because he's playing against a very tough guy in Latrell Sprewell.
Now, the Warriors have had their troubles. They've only won 4 times. They're playing pretty good lately, but this is a team that features Latrell Sprewell. And what team would like to have Sprewell playing for you?
You know, Sprewell was one of the sought-after free agents, stayed with the Golden State Warriors, had a terrific night last night in a win against the net, particularly from the free throw line, but he's an explosive player. He's the kind of guy that can go from 18 to 20 in a quarter, and really that's the difference between winning and losing for the Warriors. If Latrell Sprewell is kept down, you're going to beat this team.
And then, of course, there's Joe Smith. Here's the young man who was the #1 pick overall in the draft a couple of years ago, and suddenly he's starting to show why.
You know, Joe Smith started the season off with some injuries, but he's now beginning to get his game back together, and that's important for the Warriors, who don't have a lot of size on the front line. Joe Smith has got to bring it every night.
So Golden State all of a sudden becomes more of a threat. They've lost some pretty close games to some good teams.
They have lost to some good teams, but I think that they feel that they found the game. They're a small team. They move the ball. They move the people, but they have a tough time playing against big teams. Portland's advantage is with that front wall, and they got to wear them out.
And Portland's advantage also is the fact that they have some depth. They've got some very nice reserves. Gary Trent happens to be one of them. He will be one of the featured players in this game here tonight. Kenny Anderson, of course, another one of those fine players who's a frontline player. Kenny, however, will not start the game tonight because of some disciplinary or team rule violations. Nothing major, but he has played extremely well, and he'll be in there very, very soon.
What is this, a scoop?
Well, kind of a scoop, but nonetheless.
You can only get this on Blazer Vision?
Blazer Vision. We bring it all to you, and we bring it to you in a hurry. Nonetheless, I'd say this team overall is playing very well. And, of course, Gary Trent, one of those fellas that I mentioned, one of the reasons why the team is playing well. Gary Trent learning his role, playing it to perfection right now. He's a young player that's got star written on him, on the rise. And, of course, when you talk about Golden State, you can't help but think about Chris Mullin, 5-time All-Star, original Dream Team member. He is kind of a running blood clot these days, but he is tough. Rose Garden, live on the night after Thanksgiving, and we certainly hope that yours was a thankful one and a joyous one. And the Golden State Warriors
First,
about to be introduced
the visiting
by
Golden State Warriors.
our PA announcer here, Mark
The trainer
Mason.
for the Warriors is Tom Abdenauer. Assistant coaches are John Wetzel, George Irvine, and Rod Higgins. Head coach of the Warriors is Rick Adelman. On the court for the visiting Golden State Warriors. At forward, number 17, Chris Mullin. At forward, number 32, Joe Smith. At center, number 50, Felton Spencer. At guard, number 15, Latrell Sprewell. And at guard, number 25, Mark Price. And now, your Portland Trail Blazers. The Blazers trainer is Jay Jensen. Assistant coaches are Dick Harder, Rick Carlisle, and Elston Turner. Portland's head coach, P.J. Carlesimo. On the court for your Trailblazers, starting at forward, number 3, Clifford Robinson. At forward, number 30, Rasheed Wallace. Pasantras Skaisos Vianolica. At center, number 11, Arvydas Sabonis. At guard, number 23, Aaron McKee. At a guard, number 34, Isaiah Ryder.
And here are Snapper's keys to winning.
I think because the Warriors played last night, one of the things the Trailblazers want to do is test their will, find out whether they really want to play this game, try to break them early. They know this is a tough opponent for them. Pound that ball inside. Take advantage of the fact that they're small, particularly with foul-prone centers. Make sure Sabonis gets a chance to see the basketball. And then, because they are the Warriors are a perimeter shooting team, make sure you defend outside and make them take difficult shots under pressure.
All right, the starting lineups, as we mentioned in our pregame, a little bit of a change for the Blazers when you get to the point guard. You've got Rasheed going against Joe Smith. Mullen and Robinson, there's an advantage by the Blazers. Sabonis and Spencer, Sprewell and Ryder, and Aaron McKee for Kenny Anderson at the start, going against the very talented but oft injured the last few years, Mark Price, an 11-year veteran. Mullen, a 12-year guy you're looking at right there. Aaron McKee ready to step in and fill the role until P.J. Carlesimo feels it's time to bring in Kenny Anderson, who's been terrific the last couple of games. Cliff Robinson, who's been playing nice basketball for the Trailblazers. And Joe Smith, #1 overall pick in the draft a couple of years ago. Fine rookie season last year at 15+ points per game. And the officials, Hugh Evans, Tom Washington, and Tim Donahue. High atop the garden and looking down. Only on Blazer Vision. Director George Walsh. Coordinating producer J.R. Hellman. The entire crew is on tap for this exciting Blazer Vision telecast tonight. Update come along the side. Sprewell. And Sprewell shows you why he's the 5th leading scorer in the NBA at 24.1 points per game. They had a nice win last night over the New Jersey Nets, 124-118. Here's Sabonis. They establish him early, and he's shoved out by Spencer and off the hands of Rasheed Wallace. Normally a very sure-handed big man. Mullen averaging 16.7 with the ball. Smith averaging 18 points a game. There's Spree on the cut. Mullins, they'll do that a lot. Back to Smith, they work the weave. Try and tighten it up. Easy Rider is on Sprewell. Price, McKee fights over the screen, look for the pick and slip, and then throws it away. And deflected off the body of one of the Trailblazers, so they'll bring it back in.
4 on the shot clock as you get a look at Rick Adelman. Certainly feels grateful to have won the game last night. That was a tough game for them against New Jersey, but it was a must-win situation for him. Joe Smith against the clock.
And in and outer. And Spencer with a rebound. Yes, the same Felton Spencer that played last year for Utah started this year with Miami and was traded over here, or Orlando, pardon me, and was traded over here for Ronnie Cycli. The runner by Price, trying to get it to Smith, wasn't ready for it. Price tried to tap it to Smith, and already the Warriors, not a great rebounding team, averaging less than 39 a game, were dominating the boards. And Spencer fouled by Arvydas Sabonis. So Felton Spencer, who got used to winning a lot of basketball games in Utah, is struggling here with his 4-win Warriors team.
Well, Felton Spencer's main concern has always been foul trouble. When he's able to stay out of foul trouble, he's always able to help his team. That was the story in Utah when he was there, story in Minnesota prior to that. It's the story now. And, you know, when a player has certain characteristics, it's tough to change them. He's even got some tattoos there, but they won't help change him. You know, he's a cluster foul guy.
a #1 pick with Minnesota. He's bounced around pretty well since then. Look at Price. Coming off serious knee problems. Came down and knocked the ball away from Rasheed, so the Blazers will inbound with 18 seconds on the shot clock. The Warriors average 101 points a game, so their offense hasn't been lacking. But their defense has been rather porous. About 106 is what they give up.
Well, this is a team without a lot of shot blocking. Ryder got to the rim, couldn't finish. So you're going to be able to get inside against them a lot, and it's a question of just understanding how you can hurt them with the high percentage shot.
3-0, Golden State on top. Mullen, backdoor Price. They run a lot of that stuff with a back cut, everything coming from weak side, and Felton Spencer getting the shot away against Sabonis. As I recall, Spencer had a modicum of success against Sabonis when they played before. They haven't played a lot against each other. He's a big guy, 270-pounder, Felton Spencer. Blazers swing the ball nicely. Cliff back out to Ryder. Well done. Cliff on the assist. Ryder on the 3, and it's 5-3 Warriors.
There was some good patience by the Trailblazers to make the defense commit 2 times in a row before they put the ball in the air. Ryder got an easy scoring chance.
Mark Price with the ball, averaging 14.2 points per game. Price has been around a lot of semesters, and on the Warriors' turnover, about 18 a game is what they average. Blazers will bring it over. Price has a career average of 16, in case you're wondering. Aaron McKee starting for Kenny. Good drive by Cliff, and on the way through the back door, he's fouled on the play. So nice baseline backdoor move by Cliff Robinson, and fouled on the way.
Good effort by Robinson. Did quite finish the way he'd like, but if he can get that close to the basket, Eddie, he's going to have a big night. Now, while we got a minute, I want to say get well to the food man. Jim Wilson, our guy, is down, but his wife wants you to know that she's enjoying the game with son JT. And if you can get out of your bed, you can come to the ball game next week.
I hope it isn't some of the food that he sells that he got sick on. Here's what Cliff Robinson had down in San Antonio. Oh, I'll hear about that. 5-3. No, it's not food poisoning. I know that. It's
I've never met a man who can work himself into a hole the way that you can.
He got the bad boiler. Too much Thanksgiving. And we got a foul called on the play, and that'll go against Cliff Robinson. There's an old face, familiar face, I guess is a better way to put it. Rick Adelman, his adversary, against on the other side of the floor tonight. Rick going against Carlesimo. Nice drive by Sprewell. Blazers can't get the rebound. Who deflected it? OB. Portland. And so the Warriors will bring it back in.
Right now, Portland not really reacting, not showing the energy that you'd like to see at the outset of the game. Sprewell beats Ryder easy, giving them the idea they might be able to play tonight. Sprewell with 4 here in the early part of the ballgame.
Running some good inside stuff on the baseline, and Golden State with a 4-point lead. Spencer averages about 4 a game, incidentally. Blocked by Spencer. And out of bounds. The Blazers should get it back in, as on the attempt to initiate a fast break, Price planted his foot on the end line, and that's tantamount to being out of bounds.
Even though Spencer slapped this one back, you got to continue to attack that basket. You can notice how close McKee was before Spencer came back to make the save. They're looking at the shot clock.
Yeah, Hugh Evans immediately caught it, the veteran and a very fine official. Warriors, incidentally, in that game last night against New Jersey, had a nice fourth quarter, outscoring the Nets 32-21. We were looking at the clock. And in that game,
they're going to run the clock down because the ball didn't hit the rim.
In that game, Sprewell, Steve, had 26, Price 21, and Joe Smith a huge 30 points. So they have some players. I don't think it's a question. You know, a lot of people say they don't have talent. I think they have talent here, but it's a question of how it fits. 17 seconds on the shot clock. Is it complementary to one another? And I want to get your opinion on that, Mr. Snapper Jones. Ryder with a springer. Hello. He's got 2 nice-looking jumpers and 5 points. All of the Blazers' points. Golden State 7, Ryder 5. Price.
Spencer nailed Aaron McKee on a screen. There was no way that he could get around that. Got hooked up with him. Should have been a foul call against Felton Spencer. You give Mark Price that kind of daylight the way he's shooting the ball here lately, he's going to hurt you.
41% career three-point shooter. There's a sweet-looking shot. Who's going to stop that? Wallace with those arms fully extended. Impossible to stop when he gets around and up on top. 10-7, Golden State with a lead. The Blazers yet to really exploit the Cliff Robinson-Chris Mullin matchup, where Cliff has a decided advantage size-wise. Inside, Sprewell off the interchange.
Ooh, a big throwdown by Joe Smith. Didn't look like he was going to get there, and all of a sudden over Sabonis slapped it in.
And so a big slam over the top of Arvydas. 12-7 on the entry attempt. Rasheed chases down, and the ball knocked away by the Warriors. Nice pass. And Golden State on top, 14-7.
All the Warriors have scored with that pass to Mullin, but they're the more active, more aggressive team right now. The Trailblazers just have to pick up their energy as we get a break in the action.
Warriors out rebounding the Blazers 4-0 so far. Timeout, 14-7, Golden State. Back we are here at the Garden. Steve, we didn't get a chance to ask you, did you and your family have a nice Thanksgiving?
It was good. You know, much to give thanks about, and it was nice to be home.
And the Blazer dancers. And let's go back on a point that I brought up, and that was, this isn't a team that's devoid of talent, Golden State, but does the talent complement one another?
They're trying to come up with the style that will make them complementary. They don't have an identity like the TMC Warriors did for Don Nelson, a small team that could hurt you with Richmond, Mullin, and Tim Hardaway. Very explosive in scoring. But they do have a lot of scoring out there. They're trying to find ways to use it. What you have to do is make them pay for being a small team whenever you've got size against them, and then they'll have to become better at pressuring the basketball.
14-7, Blazers with the lead here in the, trailing Golden State here in the first quarter. 7:13 to play as we enjoy the work of the Blazers dancers. And yes, most NBA teams do have dance teams. All around the circuit, we got a chance to see them perform, and a lot of very talented young ladies. And our friends at AT&T Wireless tell us that Golden State off to a sizzling start. 67%. The Blazers not bad either. But not nearly as many shots. And so far the Warriors very aggressive at the defensive end, which has enabled them to get something going at the other end. Cliff Robinson will inbound. Sabonis, Wallace, Aaron McKee, and J.R. Easy Rider. Cliff on the pick and slip. Big guy changes his shot, tries to power up again. No ball loose. J.R. off the foot of one of the Warriors. Blazers bring it back.
Sabonis that time a little bit too casual. He thought he was going to be able to get in there easy and throw it down. If he busted a little bit harder to the rim, would have been an easy two. Now he has to reset. So he's got to toughen up his approach at the offensive end. Hadn't done it yet. They get the first call against Felton Spencer at the offensive end.
What do you think of Felton Spencer here in exchange for Ronnie Cycli? Good deal?
It's always a good deal when you have people that want to be on your team and that can help you. I think Felton Spencer can help them if he can stay in the game. He can't score the ball like Ronnie Cycli, but in order for Cycli to be a factor in any game, on any team that he plays, he has to have X number of touches a game, and the ball basically stops when it gets in his hands. Spencer's not that kind of an offensive player, so he can play with four good offensive players and be a garbage man.
Rasheed Wallace with both free throws good. Now 4 points. Felton Spencer with 2 fouls. There's Sprewell getting good inside fadeaway position, and the Blazers bring it up the far side. Aaron trying to look inside. There's Cliff. Nice look. Oh, he missed it. Rasheed. He can't get it. On the trampoline, and the Blazers come away with a donut on that one. Aggressive to the hoop they were, and at the other end, Joe Smith will be fouled. and the ball just didn't want to fall. Now you got another big guy. They'll send as many people as 3 against Sabonis here tonight. And now their second unit big guy comes into the game, and this is their #1 pick, Todd Fuller, 6'11", 255, North Carolina State. And this young man was the 11th pick in the first round of the recent college draft. Started out as the starter when the cycle he didn't record. And when Spencer came over, he took over. But Fuller is a fellow they like very much.
Well, Fuller had been really hammered early, simply because he's a little small. He's a guy that has a combination of quickness for a center, a fairly decent 15-foot jump shot, but he just was getting overpowered by most of the people that he played. Smith gets 1 of 2.
15-9, Golden State. Inside the clip, there's the matchup we talked about. They send Fuller, and Arvydas Sabonis makes him pay. Well, they took the big man away from Sabonis to double down on the ball to give Mullen help on the bigger Robinson, and they cooked their goose because Sabonis stole the 3. 15-12 now, Golden State. Lead 3, was 7. Smith. And he turned the ball over, trying to back in. Well, he'll learn that he can't do that in this league a lot, consume that much clock, and letting other people stand around. 15-12. Blazers trail by 3. Aaron McKee up and over. Under 6 to play in the first quarter.
When they drop the ball in, see how Mark Price is standing right there. They got to give Rasheed Wallace enough room to work. It appears he can score at will against Joe Smith, so you don't want to have a guy like Price who's got some pretty quick hands sniping at the ball. Aaron McKee needs to get out of there and let Wallace go to work. If he cuts to the basket, he might even get a return pass.
There's the cut to the rack by Price. Lays it up high with the left hand, off the give by Sprewell. 5 points for him, 17-14 Warriors. But how soft was the lay-in by Rasheed Wallace, like laying an egg in a basket and not breaking it. Very soft, strong move there. Well, this kid is going to be a sweet player. Rasheed Wallace. 17-16, Trailblazers down by 1. Wallace has been tough. Mullen.
Warriors shooting the ball well. They stay in it right now. Their offense is really their energy, and they've been able to do almost what they want, so Portland's going to have to be more aggressive at that end of the floor. The little guys are moving very quickly without the basketball. Should come right back to Wallace, and the best thing to do is have someone cut to the hoop. They go for a 3.
Ryder with a rebound. Kept live, and Price has got it. Price only played in 7 games last year, and here come the Blazers off the turnover. Aaron McKee. Baby! 19-18, Warriors by 1. Blazers a chance to tie. And Gary Trent will come into the game.
The ball bounced off the heel of one of the Trailblazers, and that gave Sabonis a chance to find Aaron McKee for an easy hoop. I don't know any other player in Aaron McKee's group right now that can take the ball to the basket as well as he can and protect the ball. He just needs to do it more often. Doesn't get the 3-point play.
And they come off. Rasheed Wallace comes out. Gary Trent comes in. Wallace 3 for 4 with 3 rebounds and 8 points. Nice start for Rasheed Wallace. Fuller.
Right-handed, and that's a tough shot for him because he's a left-handed player. Gets it up and down.
Big, strong kid. Math major, if you can believe it, in college. Finished college with all A's and 2 B's in 4 years. And Ryder with an offensive foul. They said, easy, you can't do that. Easy, you can't wrap around. 21-18.
Watch the chop with the hand. It wasn't that big of a deal, but he wiped it away just enough. Sprewell looked over and got the call.
Crowd didn't like it either. Mark Price playing good minutes here tonight. Off with Sabonis. They play in the switch. Now they jump switch back with McKee on Price. Working and fading away is Joe Smith, and Sabonis, without leaving the ground, gets the rebound. Trent, sweep. Right up there among the leaders in the NBA field goal shooting percentage race. And he's also among the top 10 in free throw shooting. He has really come along nicely with his game. Mullen off the screen. Joe Smith trying to set the pick on Cliff Robinson on that kick down to free Mullen, who came up. And he's called for the foul.
Second foul on Joe Smith, and Rick Adelman here has to make a decision. He may gamble with Smith, 3:20 left in the quarter, but he needs Joe Smith out on the floor. If he picks up another, he's gone for a lot of the half.
Double on Cliff, swing it on top. Ryder, hand in his face, Aaron McKie. And Ryder fills to get the rebound. Here he is. And changes on the way up over the 6'11 Fuller and put it down. 22-21, Portland with the lead, and the Warriors with a timeout. 2:53 to play here in the quarter. They are exciting, aren't they? The young, aggressive Portland Trailblazers. Back at the Rose Garden, Paul's place. And all the folks kind of moving forward in their seats, trying to move some of that Thanksgiving food around. Well, what a day it was. Just terrific to get together with families everywhere, I'm sure. And now working their way to the next holiday season, which is the Christmas season coming up. And I'm sure some of you folks are out there doing some shopping today, probably a little harried. Just sit back and relax and watch us on Blazer Vision tonight.
On a scramble, J.R. Ryder picks up the loose ball. What he sees is the middle is open. And I'd like to see the Trailblazers fall in love with the two-point field goal again. They're going to be able to get that kind of shot all night long if they just attack the basket, because the Warriors are a small team without a lot of shot blocking, and they're going to allow you to get into the seams. So they've got to work on that. Now, Eddie, while we got a minute, and I don't know whether he can hear us or see us, but our prayers, our wishes are with our comrade, Keith Erickson. He lost his daughter. We feel for him and his family. Best wishes to you, Keith.
Gary Trent, nice totals the last 3 games. Steve, this young man worked very hard, in fact, arduously hard in the offseason, and it's starting to show.
You know the one statement that's good about that? He's taking his job serious.
Yes.
You know, a lot of times we don't think that players can improve or want to improve, and Trent is showing that it can be done. Definitely in the ball game, Sabonis down.
Aaron McKie still out there with Trent, Cliff, Ryder, Sprewell posting in the lane, and a foul called on the play.
A razor, ever so slight. Percentage for the Trailblazers falling a little bit, though the Warriors still shooting hot. Latrell Sprewell, who's got 19 free throws last night at the line for the first time.
This young man is playing like a true all-star. He seems to have gotten some of the problems that were he was carrying around on both shoulders the last couple of years, at least 2 years ago when Hardaway was still a mistake. And played well last year, playing tremendously this year. Mitchell Butler comes in at the 2-guard spot, replacing Easy Ryder. So Isaiah will sit down.
The one area where Sprewell can improve is his field goal percentage, 41% right now, and it's because he's a guy to take the volume of shots to get his number, and he doesn't have to. He can get to the basket real easy. He's got a pretty good medium-range jump shot. Travel Cliff Robinson.
Well, the Blazers commit a foul. Robinson. Blazers, incidentally, 4 team fouls, and the Golden State Warriors with 3. That is not a team foul on that last play because it was an offensive violation. But they, was it a travel? Travel. All right. Now the Blazers go over the foul limit. Too much turkey, Steve. See what happens? It affects the brain after a while. You gotta have an excuse.
There's only one person that had the fork.
Well, that was very tempting. It was a hard thing to get away from. The table. All right, at the line is Sprewell. Blazers over the foul limit now with 2:28 to play in the quarter, so the penalty in effect. And Latrell Sprewell is at the line. Now you've got the Indiana Pacers coming here on Tuesday. Tickets available. Operators are there waiting for your call. That number should be emblazoned on somebody's forehead and certainly hanging from the refrigerator. 797-9600. 797-9600. And Sprewell with 2, and the Warriors by 2.
Sprewell's got 7, and you know, headed for another big night at the free throw line. Where you want to see Aaron McKie take advantage of that? Right there. He's got quickness. He's got size on BJ. Put some pressure on the defense and then get to the basket.
Gary Trent tried to take it inside.
Going against Ray O's. O's and Danielle Marshall, heroes from last night in the game. Trent.
And a follow jam on the miss by Clifford Robinson. Robinson gets his first 2 points of the ball game, and we're tied again. Ray O's, a 6'9" rookie from Arizona. And he is a guy that can give you a lot of energy off the bench, and that's what they expect from him. Ray O's and Fuller, a couple of rookies. So they're a little look at the future here with Danielle Marshall, who's a young guy.
Well, Marshall's got a lot of skill. A real good offensive player. Much in the mode of Chris Robinson, doesn't have the toughness. They're trying to make him more of a competitor. You notice they both have number 3.
Yes, and both came from the University of Connecticut. Danielle Marshall stripped to Sprewell by Aaron McKie. Sweet defense. Looks to see where the trailer is and then took it himself. Aaron McKie and the Blazers bust out on top by 4. 28-24, biggest Portland lead. How do you like it so far? Pretty good basketball here. Blazers on a 6-0 run. E.J. Armstrong, the baby-faced assassin, formerly of the Chicago Bulls, is in there running the point. And Sprewell with a nice turn back to the base, and hello, Josephine.
You know, Sprewell's one of those long players who can cover a lot of ground, and with that spin, got right into the hoop. Coming back to Mitchell Butler, trying to overpower Armstrong.
When you look at Mitchell Butler, this is no skinny kid. This kid is really well put together, strong and smart.
Whenever you have a small, undersized guard against you, that's what you want to try to do. Get to the rim, impress him that it's going to be a difficult night, because what BJ should be trying to do to Butler at the other end is beat him down the floor. Use whatever foot speed and quickness he can to make him pay for being out there.
Averaging 7 minutes a game for Carlesimo. He averaged 14 minutes a game last year in Washington. 4th year, UCLA, 6'5" and 210.
Oh, somebody owes him some time.
Well, if he keeps playing like he has in the last couple of games, he should get some more time. He's got 2, Blazers by 4. BJ off the top. Aaron stays right with him, fights through the screen. Back to Danielle. Rainbow, and nothing there. And Gary Trent, who owns that position on the base, gives the rebound to Aaron McKie. Gary Trent down in San Antonio, 19 minutes, 7 rebounds, and 9 points.
Well, they're holding for the final shot of the first quarter of play. Coming inside to Cliff Robinson to make the defense react. That's not the guy you want to have the ball that far out.
And the hardest working man in basketball goes down with another hard worker, Todd Fuller. Tough way to end the quarter for 2 hard working guys. Stevedores on a basketball floor, and the Blazers lead by 4. 15-7 start, but the Blazers started the game without Kenny Anderson. And this guy, who has been pretty much of a good luck charm from time to time for the Trailblazers, is back tonight. So Kenny and my man, whatever his name is.
Trailblazers now catch up with the Golden State Warriors with points in the paint. Prior to that shot by Gary Trent, they were down 2, and you would think that Portland would have an early advantage, but the Warriors did a lot of cutting to the basket to get that edge. Trent with the second hoop of the ball game.
32-26 Trailblazers. High Sox gets a foul down on the baseline. That's Gary Trent. He gets a foul against Ray O's, who is quite a young player. I guess you saw him play on the satellite last night, Steve. He had a big game for them. O's in 25 minutes, had 18 points, 8 for 11 from the floor, and 11 rebounds.
Well, O's is one of those guys that really tries real hard, and you know, he will try to, you know, make something happen whenever he's out on the floor. I don't think he's a great offensive player, but he works hard enough to where he gets himself in a position to get points.
And he is all over Gary Trent right now. Two young guys that are muscling up on one another. Kenny Anderson, who did not start, Broadway Kenny in the game, and Mitchell Butler with a moonwalk jumper on the base for his 5th point of the game, and the Blazers lead by 9. 35-26. Biggest lead of the ball game. Sprewell, stop and turn, up and around. And an overlay. Fuller. Look at Dudley. Up to Kenny. Broadway up and over the top. Looks down the boulevard, brings it out on top to Trent. Kenny on a screen by Dudley. Pick and roll was there, the reverse to the other side instead. Aaron McKee on the base. Rejected on the way up and goaltender.
Should have been a goaltender.
No, trying to call a foul.
Well, Fuller came through the net, and that's the reason it should have been a goal. His hand was clearly in the net trying to make the block. You watch Daniel Marshall having a tougher time tonight defensively. Couldn't move his feet. Fuller trying to come through the net to make the block.
It is apparent that the Warriors are still trying to add people, and one of the names you hear mentioned a lot is Daniel Marshall. So they did give him the goaltend and call the foul, and the Blazers now lead by 12. But Daniel Marshall is a name mentioned in return for Sean Bradley over New Jersey. I mean, that's hard to believe that New Jersey would give up on Bradley. They got a lot invested in him. Sprewell for 3. And the Blazer lead now back to 9 at 38-29. Portland off to a slow start, trailed 14-7 early. Took the lead for the first time at 22-21.
There's Aaron McKee in his office right in there. Aaron cooking tonight. Got 5 1/4, 9 in the ball game.
40-29 Trailblazers. Fuller.
That's Fuller's shot. If he can get the ball right around in there, he can be a factor in the ball game. You want to try to deny him getting to the free throw line. That's where he feels he's got a lot of confidence. He'll look to make the shot.
Kenny Anderson, and checked by B.J. Armstrong. Armstrong's been around. He's an 8-year guy, 6'2", 185 Iowa. Had a pretty good year in 93-94, averaged 15 a game or right around it. Blazers with a lead on a timeout call. Portland 40, Golden State 31. Well, I know we have a lot of race car fans out there in our audience. You folks can stop by any Portland Metro Toyota dealership to enter the Toyota Mini Grand Prix. Win cash, Blazer tickets, and a position in the remote control car races held during Blazers home games. Second round entries are due Wednesday, the 18th of December. Visit that Portland Metro Toyota dealership now. Gary Trent, Blazers with a 40-31 lead. Trent, block, foul, Rayo. And so that will put them at 3 team fouls. We have 9:05 to play till halftime. The Blazers shooting red hot, according to our friends at AT&T Wireless Services. Trent will go to the foul line and shoot a pair. Gary Trent. Blazers made a nice acquisition when they brought him in here. This young man is a fine young player, 6'8". And Trent, 250 pounds, University of Ohio, #1 pick, Milwaukee.
A little bit too much thought that time by Gary Trent is exactly what he wanted to do at the free throw line. Daniel Marshall out of the ball game. Donald Royal in.
Marshall is limping as Trent hit the free throw. And on the way by the Warriors bench, the top of it, he tapped the trainer and says, "Come on down here, I need to have you look at my foot." Or is it his knee? In any event, with the ball now is Andrew Leclerc, who just came on also. B.J. Armstrong back to Mullen. Boy, that's money in the bank. That's a fellow you can't let loose.
Well, Mullen is shooting a great percentage this year. He's just not getting enough shots on goal. I mean, this used to be their primary offensive weapon. That role has gone to Latrell Sprewell, but you still have to find more ways to get a shooter like Mullen scoring chances.
Mullen, a lot of treasures in his time as a player, included in those 2 gold medals Aaron McKee pulls the string and has 11 points.
Well, Aaron McKee has stayed within that 15-foot range, 12 to 15-foot range, has been very effective tonight, has hurt the Golden State Warriors at the offensive end.
10-point lead, Portland. Nice move there on the spin against Dudley. I don't think Chris was expecting that by DeClaire. 6'10", 230, yet another big man, and Kenny Anderson. Broadway Kenny just bombed one, and it's a 13-point Portland lead, 46 to 33. And DeClaire loses the ball. He tried to load it up and get to Mullen, picked up by Dudley. Kenny, Trent, blocked, and DeClaire standing out of bounds. And was standing out of bounds when the ball came into his hands. 46 to 33. Portland, Mitchell Butler, Chris Dudley, Aaron McKee, Gary Trent, and Kenny Anderson.
De Klerk is just a player that is feeling his way. He really hadn't had a lot of playing time either. Mitchell Butler missing inside.
How about Chris Dudley? Put those steel-toed sneakers to work. And Dudley is fouled on the play. He's violated on the play as he tries to get the shot away.
You're right. It was too much turkey.
Watch him.
You lost your mind.
Bang. It's hitting the front. 46-33. Blazers with the lead. Dudley at the line. And the crowd gives him a little support. Dudley, of course, with the history of not being a terrific free throw shooter. Easy Rider will come back in. Some people call him Isaiah. Other people call him JR. We'll make it easy and call him Easy. 47 to 33. Portland. Judge makes 1 of 2. Trent can't get it. Butler's got it. And he stepped over the end line. Is that what happened?
Loose ball.
Loose ball foul. Aaron McKee with a real nice half going for the Blazers. 11 points, 5 of 8 shooting. And a 20-second timeout will be called. And that one will be charged to whom? That one will go against Golden State. 47 to 33 is our score. PJ Carlissimo talking to his guys right here from the top. Around the NBA, there's plenty of activity. 10 games in all in the NBA this evening. And here are some of the scores. Houston big in Boston. They're good, boy. Atlanta pummels Washington in Atlanta. Orlando trying to catch some wind, and Philly beats them at home. Some of the games going on as the Lakers' big win in Detroit after getting beat in Boston the other night. The Lakers really kind of enigmatic, Steve. What's the problem there? Up and down.
A lot of it has to do with style of play. They haven't figured out what is the best style of play for them. One thing you know about Donald Roy, he's going to drive the basketball. So you got to get on that right hand and make Roy become a jump shooter. One guy in the league that you know 99% of the time he's coming at you, he's coming small right, and Mitchell Butler gives it up.
Rayos is out of the ball game, and Joe Smith has come back in for Golden State.
Back to Royal, trying to back his way down.
Royal
not going to make many of those. Todd Fuller over the top.
And a loose ball foul on Fuller.
What Rick Adelman is trying to keep his team from getting really, particularly when they go out on the road, is a loser's mentality and giving up early. That's why I say you got to come out early and really jam this team. Let them know they're in for a real hard night's work. They'll probably give you the game.
The penalty situation going into effect against Golden State with 7:04 to play here in the first half. And the Blazers with a 47-33 lead.
You know, the sooner the young Trailblazers learn that secret about the NBA, never let your opponent think that they have a chance to win, the easier the games become.
Good point. And I think that they are learning on a game-by-game basis. I've seen a noticeable improvement in these guys. John Wetzel, former Blazers assistant coach, going to a new barber down there. Must be one of those $5 haircuts. Those aren't bad, by the way. Wetzel, with a good boss, says it's much easier to take care of this way. Gary Trent with 7, 49-33. Blazers with a lead.
If I get $3.
Easy. Easy now. Armstrong against Kenny. Broadway plays him tight through the screen.
You notice how hard they have to work to get a shot off, and it comes from the outside. When you can control a team like that, you got trouble. Now, they wasted a timeout. 2 seconds left on the shot clock. You don't get much advantage there by calling a timeout in that situation.
That's a timeout Adelman didn't want to take. Blazers with a lead by 16. And the Blazers dancers will come out and entertain.
Your Blazer dancers.
Back at the Rose Garden, Blazers lead Golden State. But here's what we have for you. Indiana coming up on Tuesday at 7. That's on Blazer Vision. Call your cable company right now and order pay-per-view. Love to have you join us. That's 7 o'clock on Tuesday night, Portland and Indiana. They got some good people. Reggie Miller, and inside, Dudley battling Fuller. Fuller is really a load, isn't he? He's a big, strong kid.
That's the kind of mistake you don't want to make. 2 seconds left on the shot clock to bail him out with a foul.
Golden State slipping as far as field goal shooting. They were shooting red hot in the first quarter. Blazers conversely moving up the ladder. Fuller goes out. They've got Smith, Donald Royal, Latrell Sprewell, Chris Mullin, and B.J. Armstrong. How about this small lineup?
But they've got to think about scoring the basketball and generating some pace, spreading the floor out, and making Portland defend all over. Then they have a chance. Royal coming to the rim.
And Chandler. Nice move by Donald Royal. Played at Notre Dame, been all over the basketball map, including stopping Israel. This guy's been in Europe, been in the CBA, NBA, all over the world. USBL, all those leagues.
Donald Royal makes my case for scouting. We've always talked about how scouting has improved and how much more the players know about their opponents. And Donald Royal is a guy that's going to drive, and bang, he drives and throws it down. Now, he's either such a good driver or the players have forgotten what he does. Three-point play for Donald Royal.
And it's suddenly 49-36. 49-36, Trailblazers with a lead. Cliff Robinson back in. He wore a white sweatband around the head the first time on the floor. He's changed to a black, and we haven't even made the usual halftime move yet. Ryder trying to go to Dudley, and Dudley lost the ball. Smith has got it. That's the 4th turnover for the Trailblazers.
The Warriors have their quick strike team out on the floor, and Sprewell's going to try to get inside against Rasheed Wallace. He gets the foul.
Sprewell's another guy that you young people should take a little note of and interest, because he could inspire Wallace on the foul. Sprewell's a kid, didn't play organized basketball until he was a senior in high school, and then averaged 28 a game. Went to a junior college and then on to Alabama, and of course, you know the rest since he's been here. A real good one.
The amazing thing about Sprewell is that he was drafted as a defender. He was supposed to be a great defender, which he's very, very good at. But when he first came in, he wasn't supposed to have the ability to score the ball, and he turns out to be their #1 offensive threat. He gets 2 more free throws. 5 in the quarter for Sprewell.
11-point game now, Steve. When you think of what they had when they had Weber, Owens, Hardaway, and that crew, and a turnover for the Blazers. Sprewell with it on Ryder. For Mullen.
The one thing you have to do with Mullen is protect the basketball. He's got very quick hands. That's one of the reasons he's been able to get by without having the ability to jump. He plays in cracks and crevices, and with quick hands he can defend bigger people. You take care of the ball, you'll be able to get your shot away.
Blazers had a 16-point lead moments ago. It's down to 9. And here comes Armstrong with a rebound.
The shots that they're taking right now play into the hands of the Warriors. Again, go back to dropping it inside when you have to set up, and you won't be caught in a scattered chase position like the Trailblazers are right now.
Both teams over the foul limit. So Mullen, a good free throw shooter, will go to the foul line. Chris is 86% career. Been injured pretty much the last 4 years, but he had a stretch of seasons, 5 in a row, where he averaged over 25 points a game. One year, 88-89, he averaged 26.5. Here to give you an idea. Mullen, the last 4 years, with all the injuries, you can see what extent of his average. But a very productive career for the 12-year veteran. 49-42. Blazers, 16-point lead gone. Kenny, quick shoots. Saved by Dudley, and then throws to Sprewell. And the rebound by Rasheed as Sprewell tried to do it alone. Broadway to the middle. Broadway down Broadway. And foul on the way to the rack by B.J. Armstrong.
What you want to think against this unit that they have out on the floor is high percentage. You're going to be able to get inside, get to the rim, and you've got to adjust your mentality that way. They want you to shoot the ball quickly from the outside. It gives them a chance to stay in. If your outside shot is breaking down, that gives them a chance to rebound. It gives them a chance to run the ball back in. Sabonis in, Dudley out.
Sabonis has been out of the game since 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Well, Chicago is just kicking Dallas's fanny, 111-93 right now, late in the fourth. And Broadway brings up the bear. It's 51-42.
They've had 4 days off. They've been thirsting for an opponent. Dort had 23 in the first half, so he's had a big night.
Back door.
Tough drive, Joe Smith. Tough drive.
Sabonis trying to hang on, but Smith now and the Warriors within 7, 51-44. 16-point lead not long ago by the Trailblazers, 49-33. Oh, tough shot. Sabonis, clock still rolling. He's got a kill. And Arvydas Sabonis with 5 points. And the Blazers back to a 9-point lead. Got to get the ball to the big man, try and run it through there.
What the Warriors want you to do is throw the ball back out so that they can semi-zone you and just use zone principles. Guard an area, don't have to guard a man. Mark Price, tough play up there. And if you cut to the basket, that breaks that down. But teams have to send somebody to the hoop in order to expose what the Warriors are doing.
53-46, the Trailblazers leading. And now Kenny Anderson tells Rasheed to move. Here's your wraparound. Rasheed from Sabonis, and 2 points come away.
That's all you have to do. Have someone go to the basket. You're going to get an easy shot almost every possession that you're in a half-court set.
10 points for Wallace. 9-point Portland lead. Here's Joe Smith trying to beat the big guy one-on-one.
Joe Smith had a lot of practice at this last night. He was coming at John Bradley 7-6 all night long. Had his shot blocked in one sequence 3 times, but he continued to challenge. Here's a pretty pass on just a simple cut to the basket. Rasheed Wallace easily over Donald Roy.
It's the simplest form of basketball, too, Steve. Pass and cut. Pass and go. Felton Spencer. Felton Spencer
remember who you are. You need to put it where you can read it. You have it up too high, remember who you are. Sometimes you look down there, you know, sweat gets in your eyes, you can't see that thing.
Not only that, he's going to hurt his neck trying to see that. 55-48, Blazers with the lead. 7-point lead with 3:07 to play. Free throw's good. Broadway, he's pinned down by Price, whose brother is with Houston and hasn't played this year because of the injury.
Ryder didn't like that when the moment it left his hand.
Blazers looking out on top, doing a much better job of it. Dalton Spencer all over Sabonis, and he threw the ball away. Arvydas Sabonis and the Blazers just committed their 7th turnover of the game. 55-48, Golden State with a chance to cut the lead. Will go to the side as the Blazers take a timeout.
I wonder what Eddie's got tattooed right up here in his arm. You ever get you with your shirt off, you get a good look at that thing?
You don't want to see these hammers, baby.
Remember,
one of these hammers
right in
on
there.
you.
Remember who you are, right?
Well, I tell you what.
Can you see that look on there? Can you see remember who you are with it? I don't know how he did that.
I'd hurt my neck if I did that, I'm telling you. Always remember who you are is what he has on his shoulder. And there's a little caricature on somebody's leg. This is getting to be, I mean, you can actually see cartoons if you come to an NBA game. Because a lot of these guys have little caricatures on their arms and legs, backs. Quite a business, this tattoo business, isn't it?
You in it?
No, I haven't. I haven't gotten into that one yet. Gave it a thought. Tuesday, Indiana. Operators are right there waiting for a call. 797-9600. Tuesday, the Indiana Pacers with Tumbleweed Brown coming to town. Larry Brown, one of the good coaches in the NBA, good guy, bringing his Pacers, and that would include Reggie, I fear no man, Miller. He'll be here. Travis Best, real nice little point guard out of Georgia Tech. We've got McKee. We've got AT&T Wireless stats for you. Blazers now 51%. Well, the Warriors, they were in a little drought there, Steve, but they've come back nicely in the shooting department. But the Blazers, again, as they do most nights, dominating on the boards. Portland averaging 46 rebounds a game. The Warriors only 39. What we ought to do is take tattoos, pictures of tattoos, and not show the player and have a contest every night. Guess who this tattoo belongs to? Not bad, huh? You could even get a sponsor. Guess Jeans. 55-48, Trailblazers with a lead, and a foul called against Kenny Anderson. Have you seen that pose before, Steve, with the arms folded? Huh? That look?
Mark Price at the line, shooting 2.
Mark Price at the foul line.
We'll probably never be able to do another game after Thanksgiving when you get through tonight.
Lots of turkey. Loved it. Just don't let this turn into a turkey. 55-49.
Price throughout his career has been a great free thrower. Gets both of those for Portland, allowing the Warriors to stay in the game. You look up at the scoreboard, it's now a 5-point game. Portland has to reestablish themselves all over again after really having the game under control. Anderson, who got his first three-pointer, misses that one.
Wallace over the back of a couple of the Warriors, but they get it. Sprewell with it. Mullen, he's normally a real quick shooter. Didn't feel comfortable. Sprewell on Easy Rider. Mullen. Sabonis knocked down. No foul there. Price to Joe Smith. Nice move.
This group has brought the Warriors back. Smith with 6 in the quarter, along with Mullen. It's a 3-point ball game.
55-52. Blazers with a lead. Led by 16. That'll help. That was a 2-point play. 12 points for Rasheed Wallace. Lakers with a win in Detroit. Price, his team, with about a minute and a half, gets the high screen by Smith. Back to Smith. Against Wallace. Challenges Sabonis. And Arvydas Sabonis showing one of the first displays of real strong emotion over a
call, in which he goes to the official and disputes it and then walks away.
Joe Smith comes in with a hanging effort, and Sabonis' reaction was perhaps mad at himself as well as the official. But watch Smith. He gets in too deep. Rasheed Wallace wanted to push off, but Sabonis wanted to play in the game, didn't get a chance. Definitely
And Arvydas will go away with 3 fouls in the first half. He's not happy at all. Tom Washington, the official that made the call, got a little bit of a Lithuanian hard look as Arvydas went by, and Smith makes 2. Smith now with a pretty good half going. He's got 11 points.
8 in the quarter, but you know he was being dominated by Rasheed Wallace earlier. Now they've gone away from that matchup. Portland just not working hard enough, being a little bit too casual, and that they've allowed the Warriors to get back in the game.
21-8 run by Golden State, and pumped by Wallace is Latrell Sprewell. The Blazers were up at one time, 49-33, and now the Warriors with a chance to cut it to 1. Mitchell Butler will come in the game, as Ryder will probably go out. He's got 2 fouls. And Latrell Sprewell at the foul line. Well, that foul called on Rasheed Wallace. Sprewell makes it good. Golden State now 16 and 19 at the foul line. The Blazers 11 for 16. So Wallace with 3 fouls will go out. Butler, who shows he's a little versatile, he can play a 3 or a 2, comes back in the game.
What's happening here is that the Golden State Warriors are taking their small team, made Portland play further out on the floor, and are starting to get the big guys in foul trouble instead of Portland taking it down to the other end, jamming it inside, and making that small team play for being out on the floor.
1-point game. Under a minute to play here in the quarter. Cook with a save. Back to Kenny. Blazers with an advantage. Broadway. And an offensive foul on Kenny Anderson. That's his boulevard. You can't call that foul on him.
Donald Royal camps and Kenny Anderson trying to get the official to give him the call. Tried to turn a little bit on the way, but Royal was there.
9th turnover Blazers. Price bumped by Kenny. No foul. Smith looking for Sprewell on the top.
What Smith is trying to do is get to the line. He's not thinking about scoring, just getting one more attempt to shoot free throws. Dudley picks up the miss.
And Kenny Anderson will bring it over with 22 seconds remaining in the half. Going to work for 1. Broadway will try and direct a little traffic. Bring Ryder around a Robinson screen on the left box. Crossover. Lead for Butler. Back to Ryder. And the 24-second buzzer sounds as Robinson gets the rebound and is fouled at the horn. But before the horn, he should go to the line. Yeah, Cook should go to the stripe here and give the Blazers a chance to add a to the 1-point lead.
Ryder all day on that one, missed it, and Cliff's right there. And as he's trying to get control, Mark Price comes in, clock goes off. They put 2/10 back on.
I'm looking at the Blazers bench, and I'm noticing that Sabonis has been grabbing his left elbow. He fell down a while ago. He may have landed on that elbow. The Warriors, incidentally, are 12 for 12 at the line in this quarter. Portland now 1 for 1. Now, let's see what they are in this quarter. They are 8 for 10. Excuse me. Felton Spencer will come in. Kenny Anderson goes out. Aaron McKee, Cliff Robinson, Dudley. They've got Mullen, Price, Joe Smith, Donald Royal, and Spencer out there to try and get the ball down the floor with 2/10 of a second.
Can't do anything.
Can't do a thing. Blazer lead is 3 on 2 Robinson free throws, and that'll end the first half. So at the end of the first half, Blazers go from a 16-point lead down to 1 and then bump it to 3, and that's where we are. 59-56 at the half.
We got an accident already. Headed for the owner's seat.
Probably as good a time as any to remind you that you stop by any of your Portland Metro Toyota dealers, You can enter this Toyota Mini Grand Prix. Chance to win cash and Blazer tickets and position in the remote control car races held right here at halftime during the Blazer game. Our second round entries, and this is important, are due on Wednesday, December 18th. So if you get a chance, why don't you visit a Portland Metro Toyota dealership as soon as possible. Now let's enjoy this.
Still looking for the Rose Garden. Black car finishing lap number 2. 1 minute left. 1 minute left. Here comes the red car in the straightaway. Nice turn around the corner. Look at that red car. Oh, yeah. The black car, like the turtle, slow and steady wins the race. And here comes that white car. I think it's going to finish lap number 1. And that black car now. Black has got some momentum here, ladies and gentlemen. They get the hang of it. And here comes red. I think red was hanging out in the concession stand too long, if you know what we mean. Black car finishing lap 3, I believe. Looks good. 20 seconds. And the red car has now lost it into the crowd, ladies and gentlemen. All the humanity. And here comes the white car. The black car looks as if it's going to be the winner. We got 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A nice ballet by the white car, ladies and gentlemen. Give the white car a big hand.
Well, we had a little accident here at halftime, and the guy next to Snapper with those errant elbows knocked the soft drink over and splattered everything here, but that's okay. He had too much turkey yesterday, too. That's Dick Verdoniga, who works here with us and also with Post Up Productions, which is part of the Blazer family of small mini corporations. We got a bunch of those. But you want some Post Up work done? Call Dick. He'll knock your Coke over, too. 59-56 at the hat. Snapper, are you with me? Are you?
Oh, my.
You know, it's good to see Steve with us and well. He had a rough night the other night down in Texas with some bad food in the press room, and he's doing a nice job. The old Snapperoo, 59-56. You feeling better? You managed to get all that good Thanksgiving turkey down yesterday without any problem?
I was at the game the next night, wasn't I?
I know you were. You were.
And now, 3 days later, you're concerned about am I feeling better?
Oh, wait a minute. I was concerned about you then. You just didn't
I
hear
didn't
me.
know
You
it.
were so sick in that bent-over position.
I didn't know it, right?
That's right. That's right. Oh, it's tough on the road. You know, making that trip between Houston and San Antonio can be fun. At halftime, the Blazers 59-56 the lead.
This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the NBA.
Halftime, Portland by 3, 59-56 over the scrambling Golden State Warriors.
The Warriors have shown some life here in the first half of play, and when the Trailblazers have had their concentration, they've been able to hurt them at the most important place, right at the basket. Rasheed Wallace had a terrific start against Joe Smith early in the ball game, almost doing whatever he wanted at will. Aaron McKee also had an excellent start, carrying the ball to the basket, staying within that 15-foot range. A very efficient first half of play for him. What the Warriors like to do is to spread things out and to use their quickness and foot speed. Latrell Sprewell gets an extra step on that turn and is able to get into the basket area. But they are a team that likes to play outside in, make you defend all over the floor. Todd Fuller with a nice medium-range jump shot. Kenny Anderson, who did not start, got his first three-point field goal to fall. Everything else has been short for Kenny since that time. Trying to draw the foul, possibly get a three-point play. Donald Royal gets the call to go his way. with Mark Price, you just want to keep him in front of you. If you let him break down the defense by gambling, that's when he gets his own shot off. That's when he makes passes to other players. Mullen has always been a very quick-handed defender. That's what's been able to keep him in the NBA. When people have said he can't jump, he's too slow, but he's got terrific hands, and that's what has made the defense effective for the Warriors. Portland has to wake up.
All right, when we come back, we're going to have some stats for you, and we'll do that on the other side of this.
You're watching Portland Trail Blazer basketball on Blazer Vision.
And welcome back. Blazer Vision coming to you from the Rose Garden tonight. Golden State and the Blazers at halftime. Blazers with a 3-point lead.
You know, the thing that the Trailblazers want to remember here in the second half is they're going to play this team on Sunday. And Joe Smith with a good second quarter. They lead the scoring parade for the Golden State Warriors. For Portland, Rasheed Wallace had 8 in the first quarter. A terrific start for him. Aaron McKee, a real strong second quarter. They're the players. They are the Trailblazers in double figures. Rebounders, 5 players with 2. That's not a lot of rebounds by the Golden State Warriors, but it's done by committee. Rasheed Wallace leads the Trailblazers with 5.
As far as team stuff is concerned, one stat that sticks out here, Portland with only 8 assists in the first half. Both teams shooting 50% or better from the floor. And the Blazers doing an okay job at the line, but Golden State really taking advantage of their trips to the line. They had a lot of free throws in that first half. The Golden State Warriors were 18 for 21. The Blazers 13 for 18. So we're moments away from the start of the third quarter of this game. And the Blazers, what in the world is that? Oh, I want to see some of those cotton candy jumpers. That's what I want to see. You got a little cotton candy? Nice little soft jump shot. You had a soft jumper, didn't you, Steve, when you were playing?
Yes, I did.
Does that mean? I heard did, which means past tense.
No. Yes, I did. Do I still have one? Yes, I do. Do I shoot it? No, I don't.
Well, that disturbs me. Why would you give up something as sweet as a cotton candy jumper? 59-56 at halftime. All right, let's see if we can pick the level up here a little bit.
Well, I think that what PJ had to tell his team is maintain your aggressiveness throughout. Don't allow the Warriors to think that they can get back in the game and have a chance to win. Portland stretched that game to a 16-point lead, really had the thing under control, and just lost concentration. The Warriors took advantage of that and were able to get back in the game. Now Portland has to reestablish themselves. Anytime you allow a team, as we see this guy enjoying his first Blazer game, to think that they can win, it becomes a tougher night.
All right, set to go. Cliff goes with another halo, this time the red ones. He's gone through the whole ensemble tonight, red, white, and black. And here's Rasheed had the ball knocked away. And then in an attempt to get it back again, the Blazers compound the foul. Arvydas Sabonis picks up a quick foul.
Tonight is a night probably when you should just let Sabonis stay out there. See if he can get in any kind of playing rhythm and be a factor. As it is, he's going to have to come out of the game because PJ believes he's going to need him a little bit later on, but that's one of those fouls where he's just reaching for the ball and it puts him on the bench.
Sabonis is down and Dudley is in. There's that runner by Price. Those usually go. And Price smartly tries to challenge the rebound, but Ryder held it up. Broadway Kenny to the base. On the drive, and he takes it inside. 61-56. 7 points for Kenny Anderson. Mark Price. Sprewell off the curl. They run that curl very nicely, do a lot of screening down inside. Wallace with the save and a strong rebound. Outlet, he goes to easy right.
Plains flew in.
Plains flew in? Off course a little bit, huh? What time was that arrival? A new runway for Portland International. 61-56 is our score. Blazers with a lead.
Subject to ejection and arrest. For the safety of our players,
Throw anything on the floor that you shouldn't. Certainly ejected from the facility. And you might end up in the slammer. That's not a very pretty place. There goes Dudley trying to turn to the face. Nice foul on the play by Felton. Spencer, who played his college ball in Louisville.
I'm sure Rick Adelman is telling Felton Spencer telepathically, make Chris Dudley score the ball. I mean, come on. This guy is not a big-time scorer. You're going to waste fouls on him.
I mean, nice shot by Cliff. Rick is getting telepathic now, huh? A new dimension to his coaching.
You have to be able to beam in every now and then.
And the ball deflected. Kenny got a piece of Kenny, and then Spencer tried to grab it before it went OB, and he couldn't get a handle on it. So on the turnover, the Blazers bring it on over. 64-56. 7th turnover for the Warriors. Easy Ryder tries to dump into the hole to Cliff.
Now, when they have someone cut down the lane, as Wallace does right there, they're able to move the ball around, get easy shots, Dudley over the top.
That was really nice. Nice recovery by Rasheed Wallace. Got good hands, and the Blazers move it inside beautifully. 66-56, Portland by 10. Clear out Sprewell on Kenny.
Well, they want you to come to Sprewell so they can do that for Mark Price. Give him a three-point shot. Cleans it.
We've seen this a number of times, and teams are trying to do this to see if the Blazers will switch off on the guard assignments or fight over the picks and stay with their men. And we saw it against Minnesota. We saw it down in Texas. We're seeing it here again. And last time it cost them. Anderson trying to fight to the ball. He missed his shot, and he got the rebound in the corner. He's quick. Cliff. And Rasheed and the Blazers doing a big job on the boards. Ryder on Wallace. Tries to spin it off of Mullins, and he throws it to Sprewell. And he comes up shy on the job where he attacks, and Kenny Anderson got hit right on the head.
On the sprint up the floor, and they watch the heads come together. Kind of a glancing blow for Kenny Anderson.
Jay Jensen, the Trailblazers trainer, is out there attending to him.
So being a 20-second timeout.
66-59, the Blazers with the lead, and Jay Jensen trying to calm Kenny down. It's always difficult when a player's down there fearing the worst, and of course the trainer has to do a lot of calming as well as attending.
They caught an elbow. That's what it was. A solid shot right on the jaw from the forearm of the play, and it was a quick hit. It was almost a delayed knockout by Latrell Sprewell.
So we'll take the time. Blazer lead 7. 9-18 to play in the third. We're back, and the Warriors quickly inbounded the ball and were called for a 3-second violation, which turned it over to the Blazers, and here we go. 8th turnover for the Warriors. Aaron McKee against Mark Price. McKee 6'5", Price 6'3". There's Easy. Nice up fake. Nice up fake. Tries to get the rebound back. Fighting for the ball. Here they come. Sprewell, Price, Mullins, Spencer, and Joe Smith. Price. Shouldn't surprise. Excellent three-point shooter, and now it is a 4-point game again. Incidentally, Donyell Marshall, who went away, and I had mentioned that he had asked the trainer to take a look at him, has a strained right hamstring and will not return tonight. No more Donyell Marshall.
6 points in the quarter for the Warriors, all of them coming from Mark Price on three-point field goal. Aaron McKee.
Good concentration, McKee. They left him alone. The Blazers got the ball onto the side. They drew the double and got it back to the open McKee, and he has responded nicely tonight with 14.
That is the shot that the Warriors want to see the Trailblazers take. They feel that they can win the three-point game, or they have a chance to stay in the game. As long as Portland, a bigger team, stays out on the perimeter, it gives them a lot better chance to play.
Now, Rasheed Wallace really took Price's concentration away in that last three-point shot by running out at him. A big 6'10" guy just ran out at him and by him. And we've got a foul called against Felton Spencer. So Spencer has 4. And they have 2 in the quarter. And the big guy, Todd Fuller, will come back after he steps on the weigh scales, the freeway weigh scales. Tipsos Toledo's pretty good. Comes back on the floor against Dudley. And Cliff Robinson will inbound with Dudley, and at the point, Kenny on the side.
This matchup right here was one that Wallace was winning with ease. Didn't look at lose that time against Joe Smith. He could get a shot anytime he wants. Good opportunity, couldn't cash.
Rasheed Wallace on the miss. Kenny being tended to on the Blazers bench appears to be all right. Mark Price back to Smith. At Wallace, and on the drive, an offensive foul called against the Golden State Warriors. Joe Smith, who banged his knee on somebody else's inside. That's Chris Dudley. Well, that hurts. Knee on knee.
Smith was going to make a lane regardless of who was there in white. Wallace turns him to the corner, and Dudley does a good job of shutting down the angle. Easy call to make.
And a timeout call for 7:28. Play in the third. Portland 69, Golden State 62. Well, the Warriors have 3 timeouts and a 20 left in this half. And we have well over half the quarter remaining here in the third and all of the fourth. The Blazers have 4 timeouts in the 20, which is pretty much standard. And as I said, we still have like 7.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. The Blazers with a 7-point lead. In case you joined us later, missed it, we'll see this Kenny Anderson collision again. Now watch Sprewell switch hands and then with the right elbow, boom. Now, is that intentional? I don't think so. He switched hands and then moved the right elbow right at Kenny Anderson. And he won't be eating any peanut brittle tonight. AT&T Wireless, they come at you with the scores and all the numbers, and you can see the point guard comparison. And in all fairness, Kenny didn't play the first quarter, so Price with the advantage over him. And Price, over the years, has been a real good one. He's only played 55 games the last 2 years because of injuries, but he appears to be pretty solid this year, Steve.
Well, he's had problems with the speed, and over the last 2 years, it's taken a long time to get them right through operations and therapy.
Joe Smith, Michael Jordan, among many, raving about this young man. Extremely talented. And he seems to have his head attached pretty firmly at this stage of the game. Played at the University of Maryland.
I think this is the guy that the Blazers go through to make their attack. And if they can get some people cutting to the basket rather than standing around, they get a higher percentage shot. Good effort by Cliff Robinson, to get to it. And they get a foul against Todd Fuller on the foul.
Cliff playing intelligent basketball. He has 9 points tonight.
Wallace short with that when Cliff beat everyone to the ball, and Fuller smacks him across the arm.
Blazers with 15 offensive rebounds in the game, Steve. 28 overall, but 15 offense. That's strong. While the Warriors are 15 rebounds, and 5 of those are offense.
Well, the Warriors are a small team. They don't expect to do a big job on the rebounding. The second time tonight, Cliff Robinson has missed 2 free throws.
Price, Mullen, Sprewell. That's a lot of talent right there. All of them have been all-stars. Fuller. Joe Smith will be an all-star. Smith against Wallace. They know each other from the East Coast.
Clock is 5.
Sprewell, watch the spin. Wow. What a tough move that was.
Sprewell just makes up a lot of shots as he goes, you know, and if you can keep him in front of you, he's going to start missing a lot of those shots. Those are tough shots on the move. Nice drive, Aaron McKee.
Yeah, boy, that was a beautiful move, and then gets the deflected rebound. Nice pass, and Rasheed is right there. Whoa, what a pass by Aaron McKee. There's some excitement for you. 71-64 Trailblazers. Try to get it to Smith and right through the wickets. Great if you're playing cricket. 71-64 or croquet.
Well, the play again, coming to the basket. Rasheed Wallace comes hard and strong. No shot blocking there. An easy throw down over Chris Mullin.
Wallace on top.
Right at the basket, Cliff Robinson stuck it underneath the arm of Chris Mullin. Got the call.
There's a situation that the Blazers have been looking for all night. And Chris Mullin, who got his haircut at Camp Pendleton earlier this week, is the man that committed the foul. 71-64, the Trailblazers with the lead. I think that matchup, Cliff missed 3 free throws in a row, is one that the Blazers would love to exploit more, Steve. Why have they not been able to?
The Robinson-Mullin matchup, it's just been a question of moving the ball, moving people, and what they're doing is falling into the game plan of the Warriors. They're taking the easy perimeter shot, so now you don't get post up from Cliff Robinson. And Cliff has been guilty himself. He's popped a couple three-point shots from out there this quarter. Short, Joe Smith.
Tough to block those.
Shot clock is running.
Uh-oh, Price, good fake. Off the glass, Rasheed Wallace, and the Blazers with yet another rebound. 30-17 the board edge, and the Blazers on the turnover. Here come the Warriors 2-on-1. Sprewell. That's a good instinctive move when you got a defender there. You have him come to you, you just kind of drop a hip and go around it. And the Blazers with a 72-66 lead. Latrell Sprewell, 20 points tonight. Ryder with a banker.
First 2 for J.R. Ryder since the first quarter. He had 7. But, you know, the Trailblazers, yes, seem interested in staying ahead, not really burying this team. And Sprewell, he's got other designs. 7 in the quarter for Sprewell.
23 in the game. The lead is 5. Aaron McKee, played by Mark Price. 2 inches on the height advantage there. Rasheed jumping to Cliff and then cuts the hoop. Deep shot by Ryder. Whoa, that was way outside the 3 line. And Ryder with 12. Easy does it. 77-69. Blazers. 2-man game, looking for Fuller on the pick and roll. Price can't find him. It goes to Spree. Spree looks for the pick and slip with Smith. There it is on the pass to the weak side. Tied up is Fuller. Aaron McKee, Rasheed Wallace, and Dudley are all there. And Kenny Anderson will come back into the lineup. Ryder, Wallace will go out. Gary Trent will also come in. So Aaron McKee moves to the 2. When are we going to see Sasha Georgievich?
Well, he's probably wondering the same thing, but, you know, this is the kind of game he probably will get some playing time in at some point. The Trailblazers continue to build a lead. Fuller over the top, not happy with the call.
Now, you don't want Fuller to lose the aggressiveness of your coach, Rick Adelman. You want him to continue to do those things. He just got to get better court position. He wasn't inside. He had to come over the top, and they'll be shooting now, Steve, with the penalty in. 4:01 to play in the 3rd. That's the Warriors' 5th team foul. The Blazers, by the way, are like 41% outside the home run line. Chris now, or Rick Adelman talking to Tom Washington about that last foul. But still, it's a lot easier to defend your player when he's got inside position. And he did not have it that time. Golden State 5 of 8 outside the 3 line, 63%. And this is not a good 3-point shooting team coming in, although they've got people who can do it. Dudley makes the first. The Warriors coming in 39% outside the 3-point line. Dudley with that little wrist cock before he gets the shot up. There it is. Gonna work. Makes him go. Seems to work, huh, Steve? No comment from the Blazers, from the Snappers. 79-69, lead 10 was as few as 1 just before the half, as high as 19 or 16. And Sprewell on the spin back is fouled on the play.
Aaron McKee made the mistake of making a play on the ball. With Sprewell spinning like that and a little bit out of control, he's going to have a tough time locating the basket and getting it up. As it is, he gets a chance to go to the line. Feasted there last night. 19 free throws.
7 for 8 tonight, now 8 for 9. The Warriors coming in here with 4 wins in this young season. They have struggled. Trying to find combinations, trying to find the right people. But this Sprewell is quite a talent. He has 24 points, 25 points so far tonight. 79-71, the Trailblazers with a lead. Sabonis has been a non-factor because of foul problems the entire game.
Grant going to get in his office, able to get it away, couldn't finish. Dudley.
And that'll be the 4th team foul on the Blazers, and Dudley will pick up his 2nd. Golden State over the foul limit. Blazers have none left. Blazers do have 4 timeouts in the 20 remaining in the game, and Golden State with 3 in the 20. Once again, while examining a spot on the floor, apparently we're going to come over and try and dry a spot, and while that's going on, Rick Adelman will take the time to talk to Mark Price. Price, dream teamer also. You know, you got Mullen was a dream teamer. You've got Price that was a dream teamer. And there's a dreamer. I mean, PJ looked like he was just taking a little siesta there.
PJ was a dream teamer too. Assistant coach with Tuck Daly. Lead the basket open for Sprewell. And Dudley closed it down, and Sprewell just threw it in the air. Another pair of free throws coming for Sprewell.
Boy, this guy lives at the line.
Well, they double Mark Price, and whenever you double, if you have somebody in the area where the double team comes from, it's going to be a factor on the defense, and Dudley just can't get there in time.
Worth repeating again, 17 of 19 at the line last night. The Blazers will head right back to play these same Warriors on Sunday at noon, radio only, KEX and the Blazers Radio Network. That'll be in San Jose, the home of the Warriors this year, while their building is being refurbished. 79-72 or renovated, whatever you choose to describe what's going on there in the way of work. And now it's a 6-point Trailblazers lead.
17 points for the Golden State Warriors. All of them have come from the backcourt here in the 3rd quarter of play. Kenny Anderson can't finish.
And they're shoving underneath, a lot of shoving underneath. We're waiting to see if this one is called. Dudley, he gets 3 fouls here in the quarter, or is it on Cliff?
No, there's a call on Dudley. Cliff puts his hands up.
So that's 4 on Dudley, and that puts the Blazers over the foul limit.
Dudley didn't do a thing.
Oh, boy. The boys are having a rough time tonight with the whistles. The crowd reacting to the picture of what happened on that last play on the big screen over the floor. That's got to be a little embarrassing for the officials, because that was clearly not Dudley's foul. And Todd Fuller, the left-hander, makes the three. You know, Steve, this Golden State team has been playing people pretty good lately. They lost to the Lakers by 3, lost to Utah in overtime, to Houston in overtime, and all in the last 10 days. They did get pounded by Miami, however, this week earlier by 19. So 6 points for Fuller, and now a 4-point game Blazers.
you know, they're trying to compete. I think what happens is teams, again, they take them lightly, they get a little careless with the basketball, and that allows a small team to play, and they come at you. They come at you with Sprewell, Price, Sprewell missing. Joe Smith trying to clean up.
Dudley with a block. Tried it again, had to change his shot. Sprewell against Aaron McKee. Aaron trying to hold him. Little duck under. And a foul call, and Sprewell goes back to the foul line. Boy, he is really clever at getting to the strike, isn't he?
He has it's almost a natural pump, because it looks like he's coming off the ground to get a jump shot, but he's actually staying there, and then the player leaves his feet and he comes underneath.
Blazers take the time out. They're down to 3 and a 20.
Watch, right there, it always looks like he's kind of come off the ground and gives that little pump and leans in. Aaron McKee not happy.
And it's 79 to 75 now, and Sprewell will be back at the foul line. Sprewell only in his 5th year. He's been an all-star a couple of times, and he's always been a problem for the Trailblazers. He's got like a 20-point per game average career-wise against the Portland Trailblazers.
Well, Sprewell has always had the ability to get up and down the floor. Foot speed, quickness, driving the basketball, and when he gets streaky and hot from the outside, he really hurts you. Big difference in percentage as the Golden State Warriors riding the good free throwing of Latrell Sprewell.
Well, we told you they average over 100 points a game. As you can see right there, they're 4th in points, 5th in field goal percentage, but on the other end, they give up a lot of points. They're at the bottom of the league. They give up the most points, and also the opponents have the highest field goal shooting percentage in the league against the Golden State Warriors. Here's my man. Little Macarena time. What a bobble he is, huh? Yes, sir. He has a good time. I've never seen this guy when he isn't smiling at a Blazers game. Oh, yes. Why not? You know, I had a problem. I tried to learn how to do this dance this summer, and I kept going back to the hokey pokey. I couldn't get it. I got a lot of rhythm, too, Steve. I couldn't figure out why I couldn't get this thing.
Anytime you say you went back to the hokey pokey, that kills all statements about rhythm and ability to dance. That is one of the elementary things they teach you in grade school. Hokey pokey.
That's right. Well, I learned well. It was indelible.
And you got a lot of rhythm. A rare miss for Sprewell. First one here in the quarter.
That's Steve, they had made 20 consecutive free throws. They were 3 of 6, and then they went to 23 of 26, 89% before missing that first of 2, and there's the second. Gary Trent will go against Ray Owes, so they put the young kids against each other. This could develop into a tong war. There's Cliff posting against Donald Royal in the hole.
Well, the Warriors have been able to even the game out again. Both teams scoring the same number of points for the quarter. Gary Trent trying to build Portland's lead again. Can't finish.
And Cliff with a knockout off the rebound attempt, a 3-point game, and here come the Warriors with 2:06 left in it. Well, they battle you.
2 minutes left in the quarter.
Sprewell pops out on the top. Will Royal away from the ball. And Gary Trent climbs the imaginary ladder, and Kenny Anderson comes in. The Warriors have done the most damage tonight with a small lineup. Aaron McKee, and it may be his night. He's got 17. Playing the point and the 2. A little versatility.
They got the switch. Again, that's what they're looking for in the 2-man game. That the guards are switching. What that does is it puts Kenny Anderson on the big guard. He has a difficult time handling that. Price out of the ball game. Armstrong in.
Rasheed Wallace comes in, Dudley goes out, so they've got a different combination for the Blazers. Shot clock is at 6. Missed by Sprewell. Chased down by Broadway. Broadway brings it up and over. Cliff. He gets the open shot inside the line and hits the two. So the Blazers handle the challenge and bump it back out to an 8-point game. Final minute of the third quarter.
That's a tough shot. That is a tough shot. Sprewell has got it going. 14 here in the quarter.
Folks, you're looking at one of the better players in the NBA, Latrell Sprewell, right now. He's got 30 points for the night. 84-78. What a show he puts on. 14 here in the quarter. Steve Mitchell. Henson. Hello.
Trailblazers riding the 3-ball right now. Anderson gets his second of the night, 5 in the quarter for him. 9-point game.
87-78. Blazers back to spree.
You know, the thing about Sprewell, he's a tireless guy. You know, he plays 40, 42 minutes every year, and he never seems tired. He's always coming at you at both ends of the floor. Looked to the official, wanted to call, said, how do you think my eye is hanging out of my head?
Great defensive block by Aaron McKee. Kenny on the drive. Hey! With 3 seconds remaining, and that'll end the quarter. That shot will not count by B.J. Armstrong. The Blazers lead by 11. We played 3. How do you like it now? We're coming your way on Blazer Vision, exclusively yours from the Rose Garden. The Portland Trail Blazers, with an 11-point lead at the end of 3, have taken the challenge that's been sent their way by the Golden State Warriors, and they keep coming back. The Warriors are tough, but look at the scoring. In the first quarter, the Blazers by 4. The Warriors outscore them by 1 in the second, and the Blazers come back after it was down to a couple-point situation in the third, and outscore them by 8. Here we are with an 11-point lead in the final 12 minutes on the way. The Blazers have played some pretty high-energy basketball, and they've had to here tonight. B.J. Armstrong against Aaron McKee. Nice game.
It's hot water basketball, and you don't want to rely on it. Again, Portland is the better team, the more talented team. They really just need to concentrate and put the hammer down and put the Warriors away. Armstrong trying to make something happen. 2 on the shot clock.
Here's a steal by Aaron McKee. Aaron has B.J. to beat. Leaves for Easy Rider. 91-78. 14 points for Ryder. And we're in the fourth quarter and on our way. The Blazers trying to get 4 games over 500. Chris Mullin. And he gets 2 right back. And Mullin with 11. He has not missed a shot from the floor yet tonight. 5 of 5. That's a free throw. Ryder. McKee to Cliff. On the base. Locked inside by Ray Owes. Armstrong with a pull-up. A shot he used to hit with fair regularity.
The reason he hit it with fair regularity is everything was dropping back on Jordan and Pippen. And now, it's a lot tougher for him inside to Gary Trent.
Well, you know, and you're going to see a lot more of that shot in the future, because that kid can get that shot away almost every time he wants to. He's got 9. 93-80, 13-point lead. Blazers' biggest was 16.
They're trying to get some separation against this group right here with Owes and Royal out on the floor. That means that Mullin and Smith really have to carry the scoring load.
Aaron McKee is your point guard on the floor with J.R. Ryder at the 2. Cliff at the 3. He's got Trent inside, and Wallace is the postman. They're going small with a 3-forward rotation. Gary Trent.
Yeah, that's good exchange between Cliff and Gary Trent.
He's got 11. Blazer lead 15. 9:48 left. Crowd loves it.
that was not a picture of enthusiasm.
The crowd is really into it here at the Garden, and that would remind you that you can have some of the same fun. Blazer tickets available for next Tuesday's game against Indiana. And we have season and minigame packages available. Call those operators, 797-9600. They're there now. 797-9600. Sprewell on Aaron McKee. He's been a mitt full all night, and Gary Trent with yet another rebound.
Rick Adelman coming back with a unit that can score the ball as he sees the Trailblazers pulling away, but they're doing it by doing this, attacking the basket, a simple cut, and Gary Trent is home over the top, 6 in the quarter for him.
13 for the game, 5 rebounds. Rasheed Wallace is out there cheering everybody on. Wallace is a very energetic guy. Plays with a lot of emotion. Joe Smith. No, and Trent gets the rebound. Blazers' biggest lead of the game, 8-17 right now. Surpasses the previous lead of 16, which was way back when, 49-33. Back to Cliff.
Again, if they remember what got him there, and Cliff went just a little bit too deep. Had a 15-foot jump shot, which he's capable of making, trying to get a little bit deeper. Lost the basketball. Portland will have it back.
They'll bring it back in on 10 seconds.
Right there, he lost the ball. Mullen reached in, but when he gets to that free throw line, that's a good shot for him. He ought to think about taking it. Shot clock at 6.
Time with Ryder having holes. McKee against Spree. On the way, no. Ryder gets it. Yes, sir. JR making it look easy. Ryder. 99-80, 19-point lead. 16 points for Ryder tonight. Fake right, drive left. Sprewell tied up on Ryder. And that'll be on Ryder. That'll be his third. They haven't had to use Sabonis or Dudley too much tonight. Both of them have been in foul trouble.
But it's a quick explosion. With the small team that Rick Adelman has out on the floor, it's probably better that Wallace is out there against Joe Smith, who is a guy that likes to take the ball out on the perimeter, drive it, or shoot it over the top. But for Royal to try to drive it.
Mullen. Another rebound for Gary Trent. That should be number 7. 99-80. The Trailblazers with a lead. Robinson. The Blazers, 101. The Warriors, 80.
Chris Robinson this time knowing he can get the shot away. Left it a little short, but Wallace following all the way with a big-time throwdown. Brings the crowd a little joy and happiness.
How good is this guy going to be? You don't think he enjoys playing the game? He's just 22. And you don't think these two fellas don't enjoy seeing that? The lost man on the right. Bob Witchett on the left. 10-0 run. And hasn't it been fun in the last 3:08? The Blazers are 6 for 9 in the quarter. The Warriors 1 for 6. Enjoy the crowd.
Rasheed Wallace brought the crowd to his feet and really is having a lot of fun out there with his teammates. He's had a tremendous effect on his team in the fact that, he's an emotional player, and that seems to energize everybody else. Aaron McKie had a terrific first half, and I really think the fact that he was attacking and looking for his shot, even though he was supposed to be the playmaking guard, that gave him a huge lift. He's been very effective at the offensive end.
Aaron McKie, the leading Blazer scorer so far here tonight. Blazer bench has been terrific too, Steve, with Gary Trent 13 and Kenny Anderson 12. They have outscored the Warriors bench 35-13. Latrell Sprewell has been something to behold, however. 32 points tonight. The Portland Trail Blazers, 101-82 lead the game.
You want to keep the pressure on the Warriors and keep making them defend inside.
Ryder with the left hand. Trent with a rebound. Hey, he got to. He has been a handful.
If you do what you do best, you can be a success in the NBA. Ryder's imagination, it got the best of him on this attempt, but there's Gary Trent doing what he does well, staying inside, using his strength and quickness. Had the funny English on it, but got it to go in.
Felton Spencer picked up his 5th foul. Trent on the 3-point play clock. Well, let's see. We've not seen Djordjevic, Childress,
Nine points.
Antonio Wingfield.
9 quick points in the quarter for Gary Trent. Really helped open up the lead. Joe Smith over the top. Smith, who had it going in the second quarter, didn't score in the third. That's his first 2 in the second half.
7 minutes to play in regulation. Smith with 13. Trent again on the clear out. The new wave of young talent in the NBA on display here tonight.
6 on the shot clock.
Ryder, nice move inside, comes up short. Cliff with a follow. He's fouled on the play. Ryder goes down hard. He's all right. Cliff was fouled on the play. He'll go to the line. And this will go on Joe Smith.
Ryder finds an angle right here, but just a little bit off balance to power up, and he was trying to protect the shot from Felton Spencer. Cliff comes in. Cliff has had a tough night from the free throw line tonight, 3 of 8.
Robinson and his young teammate playing a different kind of role this year than he has been used to playing in the last couple, and understanding it better with each and every game, as is Ryder, and all starting to blend, and as a result meld. 106-64 now. Portland with their big lead in the game. 6:43 to play in regulation. 22-pointer, and this lead was in jeopardy late in the third quarter. Now there was few as 1 at the end of the first half before the Blazers added a couple.
Keeping Chris Mellon in front of him. Sprewell breaks loose.
Keith looked off to Ryder and then no looked at the Cliff. That was he looked like he was trying to telegraph to Ryder, who was trailing, but Cliff out ahead. The no look not quite there. Chris Mullen gets 2.
Now, it's been the second big game of scoring for the Trailblazers. They had a big night against the San Antonio Spurs, and backing it up tonight, again, showing balance and versatility against the team that has some scoring in its own right. But if you continue just to attack the Warriors, you're going to break them down. You're going to get easy shots for them. Back to Trent, 5 on the shot clock.
You can't handle it. You can't handle Gary Trent. If he stays in his office down there in the baseline, 10, 12 feet out, he's going to have a field day in this league. Gary Trent with 18 points tonight. How many?
11 in the quarter.
And 9 rebounds to go with it. 108-86. Mitchell Butler comes in. And Cliff Robinson will come out. They'll sit him down to get a rest. It's a good opportunity for the Blazer coaching staff to look at some other people. And Djordjevic is going to rip off the warm-ups and come in the game. We have a little over 5 to play. Blazers with it. Aaron McKee at the 1, the point guard. You've got Ryder at the 2, Trent down on the box, Mitchell Butler at the 3, and Rasheed playing in the middle. That'll be an over and back as Butler hustles it down. The Warriors don't have a shot on it. So on the turnover, number 15, the Warriors will come in here down 22, 5:18 to play. And Sasha Djordjevic for the first time in the ballgame. He will replace Aaron McKee. It's the first time regular season we see Djordjevic in a Blazer uniform. Mullen off the screen by Spencer. And another rebound, number 10 for Gary Trent.
The strength of Djordjevic is his ability to see people. Wallace couldn't finish. Wanted to throw down there, but he got a nice entry pass from Sasha Djordjevic, and Rick Adelman wants to take a timeout.
So with a timeout and 5:02 to play, Blazers 108, 86. Dudds. He's into it, isn't he? Back at the Rose Garden, Eddie Doucette and snapper Steve Jones. And the Blazers putting together a very strong fourth quarter here. After having a lead of 89-78 after 3, they've come up and they've really put the wood to the Warriors here in the fourth. They've got themselves some big-time breathing room now.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Blazer dancers.
A little pause for an ovation for the Blazer dance.
Eddie, it's too early to make the comparison, but one of the things that Portland's great teams had in finishing the thought was great balance. You look up there on the scoreboard right now, you've got 6 players in double figures, 5 left to play, a couple others could reach it, but when Portland was dominating the league early 90s, it was because of great balance throughout their attack. They certainly seem to have it with this group.
Gary Trent's high game this year, 22 points. D'Antonio Wingfield in the game for the first time.
Lou Rowe.
And Lou Rowe from Massachusetts, who was with the Pistons last year. Fuller on Trent. Blocked by Rasheed. And that'll be a 24-second violation. So look at this Blazer lineup. Different look. You got Sasha Djordjevic against Rick Adelman's Warriors. Rasheed Wallace, D'Antonio Wingfield, Gary Trent, and Mitchell Butler. Well, Adelman certainly can remember many days in Portland when he sat back when his team was out on top by these kind of numbers.
Well, he realizes that Portland has the more talented team, the bigger team, and you know, it finally took effect. You know, it's difficult to absorb a beating like that, but the reality is that Portland is the better team.
Rasheed. And these kids are really drilling it now. And the shooting percentage for the Blazers, 52, almost 53% for the game. And they've had a real nice half here, getting good high percentage shots close to the basket. And the whistle stops them.
Well, there's no way that Wingfield was letting loose Lou Rowe. A 31-10 run. They just really busted loose at the end of the third quarter and have been able to continue on.
And a foul called on the play. Lou Rowe, Steve, is, we both know, a real fine college player in Massachusetts, but kind of an in-between sizer as Djordjevic gets the foul.
The problem for Lou Rowe was he was a power player at UMass. He was an inside force, and there was a concern in drafting him that he wasn't going to be able to go out on the perimeter, make jump shots, drive the basketball. Look at the records, and the Warriors are amongst that group with some bad starts. It's a bad percentage there.
Lou Rowe at the foul line. Jersey fewer games because they played over in Tokyo, so they have to give them a little time to get over the jet lag. They can't use that as an excuse anymore.
To catch up with the rest of them.
True. Djordjevic. And he sails it to Wingfield. I would love to see Djordjevic take a couple of outside shots. We've heard so much about it.
Well, they got to get some motion out of this group. Wingfield comes for 3.
Big guy likes to shoot that deep shot, and with 3:43, Blazers up 110-86. Knocked away by Butler. Picked up by Djordjevic. He can handle the rock now. And the ball knocked away.
You got a 4-on-1. You want to get a score out of that, and they got too close together really to make the play. Trent comes out of the ball game. Randolph Childress in.
Well, they got a real small lineup in there now. Rasheed Wallace at 6'10" is the big guy. Gary Trent had 18 points and 10 rebounds. Terrific night for the kid.
But the Warriors don't have, you know, a lot of pop out there. They can't get hurt by this group. Fuller, DeClerc, Royal, Luro, B.J. Armstrong.
Childress running the point. Djordjevic, a small tool, will take over there. That's some quickness. There you go. Sasha Djordjevic on the curl and deep. 112-86. Blazer high game was 120 the last game in San Antonio. Royal and fouled as he tries to cut across, slashing to the basket. And this foul will be charged against Mitchell Butler. 112-86 Blazers with 3:07, and this crowd, a good crowd tonight. Most of them still hanging in here, enjoying this one.
Warriors have seen the Trailblazers in preseason, in the regular season. The results have been basically the same. Portland has been too big, too talented, too explosive. The faces of the Warriors say, you know, if you don't have to come up here again, that'll just fine with us.
Well, they do. They've got a game Sunday against the Blazers on a radio-only broadcast, and then the Blazers catch them again. Blazers will go 2-0 over the Warriors this year. Inside Butler, strong move to the basket by Mitchell Butler. And the Blazers on their way to winning 6 of their last 7 games with 2:50 to play and leading this one 114-88.
But they had their 4-game streak busted down in Houston and come back to win a couple. Nice defense by Butler there.
Well, you know, you're seeing good inside post play by Rasheed Wallace, who has not been known to be a post player. I mean, at least that's not what he was brought here for. And now as Djordjevic tries to swallow him through the crowd, he is fouled on the play.
Now, in situations like this, you know, and everybody likes to score, you want to see the people that haven't had a chance to score get an opportunity to get on the scoreboard. You've got Wingfield and Childress who haven't gotten hoops. Let's see if they work play for either one of them.
And the last foul on DeClerc. Wingfield. The hoop just didn't want it. And now we're down to 2:21 to play here in regulation. Blazers with a couple days off. They actually go to Golden State tomorrow.
Well, this is a matchup that Lou Rowe can feast on. He's being guarded by Randolph Childress. Nice pass.
And Rasheed with a hammer dunk. And Wallace now with his big game, 20 points. Boy, the Blazers are just having a field day here. 6 men in double numbers. There's DeClerc. Inside they go down to Lou Rowe, or Donald Royal, excuse me, and he's fouled on the play as he tries to slash across. This one will go on Randolph.
But this is a tough team for the Warriors to have out there because there's not a lot of real firepower. I mean, these guys are all working hard, but they're not going to be able to score a lot of points. So they're working on a 10-point quarter right now, and with this group out on the floor, all they've been able to get is free throws.
Donald Royal bumped all over the place, and he came along in that deal from Orlando too, didn't he? Sprewell had a beautiful night.
With Ronnie Cycle.
Yeah. Cycle goes to the Orlando Magic, and Felton Spencer and Royal come to the Golden Staters. 116-89. Djordjevic over the high screen. Nice pass. Wingfield back to Djordjevic. That's a shot he's going to make most of the time.
I think, you know, guys got to look to shoot the ball in these situations, too. I mean, there's such a thing as being too unselfish, and Djordjevic passed up a good shot the first time and was surprised to get it back. Royal back at the line. There's one thing you can say about Donald Royal. If there's a basket up there, he's going to continue to attack it, attack it, attack it. That's the only way he knows how to play.
And that's why he's been able to stick around the league as long as he's played, too, Steve, with a lot of different teams, because there's always a need for a guy like this. He's going to give you everything he's got for how many minutes, however many minutes he plays a game. 116-90. Blazers, it's been under control. The Warriors got within 3 at the end of the third quarter, 79-76, and the Blazers just took off, have flown down the stretch here in the fourth. She wanted to backfoot somebody. There's Djordjevic. That would have counted had there not been an offensive foul on the screen here by Dontonio Wingfield. But there was an example of that pure as maple syrup shot that Djordjevic has got. 116-91, the Trailblazers with a lead. Final minute of the ball game.
And this is where Lou Rowe was so effective in college. He's able to get down in there and power his way in to Clerk with a tip.
Lou Rowe is 6'7". Kind of a tweener. He's really a kind of a short 6'7". He's got a lot of muscle as Djordjevic and the Blazers up 116-93. And a shot by Butler that cups and comes out. P.J. Armstrong. A few years ago playing for the world champs. Now he's playing for a team that has very little chance of getting to the playoffs.
Well, they have no chance. Not little chance. No chance. Wingfield from deep.
And Dontonio gets on the board.